21 Savage had the fuck the streets movement that he kind of has been promoting these last.
I don't give a fuck about that. I am the streets. I love the streets. I come from the streets. I ain't on all that pussy ass shit. But about that, I ain't just like stopped about it. Same shit I've been on.
Rappers spend all day trying to create a mystique. Like NBA YoungBoy's mystique about him. They're strategically creating this air of doubt and wondering. YoungBoy posts from 6 different pages. Like,
so you think he posts from his fan pages?
YoungBoy's called me up and said, "Yo, give me your password. I'm going live on your page." Like, the mystique of it is just not going from his page. You just don't know where you'll catch it.
In his video, right? You go to the next one. He got a gun in his video, right? Man, you gotta dig a little deeper sometime, bro. All right, now look at his mama. His mama ain't no gangster, so how the fuck is he a gangster? That shit don't be adding up, bro.
Don't try to sit on.
Don't try it on. It's all entertainment.
Oi.
It's my feet. Girl.
Nipsey Hussle, his death, like how has that infected you or impacted you as a man, as a father, and someone very impactful in the industry?
I can't show fake love. I don't know him, but God bless his family, I guess.
Thank you.
There's a side of fame nobody really talks about. Not the money, not the success, not even the drama, but the part where the people closest to you end up paying the price. Because sometimes it's not the artist who gets targeted, it's their family. And once you see how often this actually happens, you start to realize something uncomfortable. This isn't rare, it's a pattern. It all started with a video that looked way too real to be fake. A dark screen, a shaking voice, someone whispering that they couldn't breathe, that they didn't know where they were, that they woke up in the trunk of a moving car. Within minutes, the internet exploded. Fans were tagging NBA YoungBoy. Pages were reposting it everywhere. People genuinely thought his child's mother had just been taken. The panic was instant, and honestly, believable. But then everything flipped. Just hours later, she came back online, calm, composed, completely fine. What people thought was a real situation turned out to be a prank that went way too far. And just like that, the fear disappeared, but the reaction didn't. Because millions of people believed it immediately. No hesitation, no doubt. And that says a lot, because the truth is, people are already expecting stories like this to be real. And that's because sometimes they are. Back in the 90s, one case proved just how dark things can actually get. Young Lay's story doesn't even feel real when you hear it the first time. His girlfriend, just 17 years old, was at home with their newborn baby. Then everything changed in a single moment. She was attacked and lost her life inside that house. And while the place was set on fire to hide what happened, something even more disturbing was unfolding at the same time. Their baby was taken, gone without a trace. For 6 years, nobody knew where he was. Not the police, not the family, not even Young Lay himself, who was locked up when it all happened. All he had was one question. Was his son even alive? And then came the twist nobody expected. It wasn't rivals, it wasn't street beef, it was jealousy. His ex, still obsessed, still claiming the child as her own, was behind everything. She had been raising that baby under a completely different identity, just miles away from where it all happened. 6 years, right there, hidden in plain sight. Until one tip changed everything. DNA confirmed it. And just like that, the child was finally brought home. But that wasn't the only time a child disappeared without a trace, because another case took things even further. Camilla Mobley was just hours old when she was taken. Not days, not weeks. 8 hours after being born, she was gone. A woman walked into the hospital pretending to belong there, spoke calmly, built trust, and then walked out, carrying a newborn. Nobody stopped her. Nobody questioned it. By the time anyone realized what happened, it was already too late. Her father found out in the worst way possible. Sitting in a jail cell, on the same day, he became a father. He heard the good news first. Then came the part that changed everything. His daughter had been taken. And, For 18 years, that's all it was. A mystery, no answers, no updates, just time passing, until something unexpected happened. She tried to get a job and needed documents that didn't exist. That's when everything started to fall apart. An investigation reopened. DNA testing confirmed it. She was alive. After 18 years, she was finally found. But imagine that moment. Finding out your entire life wasn't what you thought it was. And sometimes, the danger doesn't even come from strangers. Sometimes, it's much closer than that. Before he became the artist the world knows today, Common lived through something almost unbelievable. He was just a toddler, too young to understand anything, when his own father took him at gunpoint, not out of revenge, not out of hate, but because of a plan that didn't even make sense. He believed that showing up with a perfect family would help him land a basketball opportunity. So he forced it, literally, driving across states with a weapon, holding his own family hostage, until one moment changed everything. His mother stayed calm, waited, and when the opportunity came, she acted. One decision, one move, and it was over. They were safe, but not every situation ends that quickly, because some last for years. Busy Bone's childhood is one of the darkest stories in hip-hop history. He was just 4 years old when he was taken, along with his siblings. What followed wasn't days, it wasn't weeks, it was over 2 years, moving constantly, being told their mother was gone, being completely cut off from reality, everything designed to break them down, until something almost unbelievable happened. A babysitter, watching TV, saw a missing child segment and recognized his face. That one moment saved everything. But even after being found, some things don't just go away. And sometimes, the pain follows you into everything you become. But for one father, the nightmare looked different. Because it didn't happen in the past. It happened recently. Trey. The truth built his name on helping others, showing up, giving back, protecting his community, but none of that mattered when his own daughter didn't come home. He dropped her off for a scheduled visit. A normal day, a normal goodbye, and then nothing. She was gone. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. No calls, no location, no answers, until finally, a breakthrough. She was found near the border, safe, but changed. And that's the part people don't always see, because even when someone is found, the story doesn't just end there. And sometimes, it all happens in seconds. A child riding a bike, outside his own home, in broad daylight. A car pulls up, 2 masked men jump out. And just like that, he's gone. Jamal White Jr.'s case shocked everyone because of how fast it happened. No warning, no build-up, just action. His father's reaction went viral. People questioned it, analyzed it, turned it into content. While he was just trying to process what happened, then came the twist. It wasn't random. There was a ransom demand, money, jewelry, a plan behind it. But less than 24 hours later, he was found, safe, and the entire city felt it. Because for one full day, anything could have happened. And that's what makes stories like this hit different. But sometimes, the target isn't even there. When Tekashi 6ix9ine's home was invaded, he wasn't inside. His mother was. Armed men entered the house, moved through it, took what they wanted, and held her at gunpoint while doing it. She had nothing to do with anything, but she was the one standing there. And that raises a question people don't like to ask. When you live loudly, publicly, constantly online, who else becomes exposed because of it? Because by now, the pattern is clear. And then there are stories that remind you something else. Not everything is what it seems. When Lil Jon's son went missing, the internet did what it always does. Created theories, connected dots that weren't there, turned it into something bigger than reality. But the truth was quieter, and somehow heavier. No abduction, no rivals. Just a situation that ended in tragedy. And it hit differently. Because it wasn't dramatic. It was real. And that's exactly why it hits different. There were no over-the-top twists, no viral theatrics, just reality, unfolding in the most uncomfortable way possible. And that's the part that stays with you long after the video ends. Because when you step back and really look at all these stories together, a pattern starts to form. Fame doesn't just bring attention, it brings exposure, the kind you can't always control, not just for the artist, but for the people closest to them, the ones who didn't sign up for any of it. And sometimes, they're the ones who end up dealing with the consequences, whether it's real, fake, or somewhere in between. The impact doesn't just disappear, because one thing is clear: people are watching closely. Every move, every moment, every mistake, and whatever happens next, it won't go unnoticed, because stories like these, they don't just fade away with time, they stick, they linger, they leave questions behind. And once you see that pattern, you can't unseen it. So stay locked in, because this conversation, far from over. And if you want more stories like this, you already know what to do.